Right. Welcome, everyone. We're just going to give a couple more minutes here for the last couple of people to join in right as we get started, and then we will get started into the boot fitting launch event. So just a couple more quick minutes here, and we will get started right away. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our boot fitting live launch. I'm just going to switch my screen here so I'm a little bit bigger. Yeah, there we go. I'm Scott Fawcett from OVAP, and I want to thank you all for being here today. I'm honored to hear with me this evening, and so I want to make sure I respect your time. I'm going to jump right into it. We got about 40 people on right now, which is amazing. I'm sure there'll be a couple more that trickle in as we go. But first, as I'd like to know where you guys are tuning in from. So please type your location into the chat. Just a quick, whether it's Arnprior, Pembroke, in Ottawa somewhere. We're all from Ottawa and the Ottawa Valley, so please be a little bit more specific. But I'd love to see a little bit of interaction here. Help me out and let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Awesome. We've got Joshua from Ottawa. We've got Mark from Orleans. Chris is in Renfrew. Boris from Canada. Awesome. The experimental farm area for Cindy. And there's Lana, my wife, upstairs. Thank you for joining in. Awesome. We got Nick from Pembroke. Amazing. Let's, Brad from Carp. Let's dive right into it. So tonight, we're going to help you identify and troubleshoot ski boot pain, learn about different ski boot shapes and adjustments, and then we'll help you have a more comfortable and enjoyable ski season this winter. We're also going to give away a free gift that's worth more than a hot chocolate and less than a ski trip to BC. We'll also be giving away a full custom boot fit package worth over $2,000. Ultimately, my hope for you at the end of this is that if you're in the market for new boots this year, well, I mean, hopefully you win the prize. But if you don't, you'll see why getting a professional boot fit should be a no-brainer. But for those of you who don't know me or are wondering what an OVAP is, I'll give you a super quick backstory in under 2 minutes. So I grew up in Osgoode in a super active family. We all played hockey, baseball, golfed, paddled, and skied together. And that created a lot of core memories that shaped me into the person I am today. And in case it's not obvious yet, it sparked a passion in me for living an active lifestyle. So much so that I went to college for fitness and health promotion and then later business. And so if we fast forward a few years, I'm stuck at a desk job in my first career job, wishing I was outside. It was Amazon Prime Day, and I made an impulse purchase of a paddleboard that was not in the budget. I got home and I had to explain that to my now wife, girlfriend at the time. And so to make up for it, I rented it out on Facebook Marketplace in order to pay for it. That led to us becoming accidental owners of a paddleboard rental business that we ran out of our home. Over the next 5 years, we launched a website and started selling online. We opened a demo center where people could try kayaks on the water before they buy them. We opened up our retail store. And then last year, for the first time, we flipped the entire paddle shop to a ski and snowboard shop during the winter. So it was paddle in the summer, ski in the winter. Since those early days of renting paddleboards from our apartment, the business has changed a lot. We're now your local retailers for brands like Head, Atomic, Solomon, Rossignol, Dynastar, Volkel, K2, Helly Hansen, O'Neill, Eau Claire, Swix, Galet, and many, many more. So now you're up to speed on who I am and what OVAP is. I promised it would be under 2 minutes. So why boot fitting? The truth is, your boots are by far the most important part of your ski kit. It's the piece of equipment that's actually connected to your body, and a day in great ski boots and okay skis is way better than a day in great skis but uncomfortable boots. Yet, based on an alpine skiing performance study in 2019, about 70% of skiers experience pain due to a poor boot fit. And the truth is, your ski boots don't have to hurt. So we spent the last 12 months learning everything we possibly could about boot fitting. We had countless hours with reps and trainers. We worked through pain points and understanding different skiing styles. We punched, grinded, and deformed a bunch of practice ski boots. And we even brought in an expert boot fitter from Whistler to help us build our program and train the team. We invested a lot of time, energy, and money into making sure that we have the best people, the best tools, and the best resources available to help you have more fun skiing. So before I dive into much more, I want to know how many of you have ever had a custom boot fit before? If you have, give me a thumbs up in the comments. Right, there's a little bit of a delay here, so you guys are seeing this. I'm waiting for the comments to roll in, and you guys are seeing it a little bit late. We have anybody? There we go, Brian. Amazing. Okay, so 43 of you. Oh, okay, Mark's had a bad one. Fair enough. So 44 of you, there's about 2 or 3 that have actually had a boot fit before. So I kind of assumed there was likely a lot of you who hadn't ever had a custom boot fit. So you might be thinking, oh, there we go, a couple more rolling in, Joshua and Andy. You might be thinking, what's the big deal? Don't you just try on boots until you find one that fits? But no, not really. Feet are one of the most inconsistent shapes on the human body from person to person. We all have 5 toes and a heel on each foot, or at least most of us. But the foot is a very complex structure. We also have 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot. And most of us walk, jump, skip, kick, trip, and hopefully don't break these very complex structures in slightly different ways every day, which means they also grow and move on differently on each one of us. On top of that, ski boots are not designed to fit feet. I know that sounds crazy, but let me just show you. So on the left, I have 3 pictures of my right foot. On the right, I have 3 pictures of the ski boot that I will be wearing this year, out of the box. In order to remove any distraction, I'm just going to go black and white here and show you purely the shapes. So if you take a look at those 2 for a sec, does it look like they are the same shape? Kind of, but not really. So if I overlay them, if you look over here on the left, I'll use my mouse here if you can see it. The ski boot around the foot kind of fairly evenly goes around or creates black space all the way around the foot. It's actually a pretty good fit from a side profile. The only thing is I could have leaned a little bit forward in my legs so that you could actually be in line with the cuff. But moving over to the middle, you'll see in the big toe, I start to get really close and blow out some space. And over on the side, the lateral side of the foot, around the 5th metatarsal, you'll see that it gets really, really thin. You see the same thing from the top view. And so, surprise, I'm going to have to make punches in my boots around that 5th metatarsal and probably around the toe. And I'm lucky. I have pretty normal feet, at least anatomically normal. But there's still some unique features. So the green on there indicates a little bit more volume in the foot, specifically on the lateral side. I talked about that 5th metatarsal and how the foot is really wide in the forefoot. And then my lateral malleolus, marked by blue, is just set a little bit back on my right foot, more than more than most boots are designed. I normally have to end up making a punch there. And I don't have bunions, lingering ankle sprains, calluses or corns, plantar fasciitis, or any other long-term foot injury that's creating issues. Can you imagine how far off these boots would be if I did? We also noticed that the Ottawa area wasn't being serviced properly, at least not considering the amount of skiers we have locally. So that's why boot fitting. Now, before we dive into the 5 most common boot fitting mistakes and how to fix them, I have something for you. Something that's worth more than a hot chocolate, but less than a ski trip to BC. And actually, I have 2 things for you. When we were building out this program, we knew that not everyone was ready for a full custom boot fit. Maybe you just bought new boots last year and it's not in the budget this season to buy new boots. Or maybe you just don't know if your boots actually fit right and what size to look for. So we created these for you. I'm going to drop a link in the chat here so you can go ahead and claim these while I'm talking about them. It's at the bottom of the screen as well. It's ovap.ca/free gift. The link will only be live for 24 hours. So you have to claim it in order to get these free gifts. And that's because it's specifically for you guys here on the live. The other thing is you won't get the gifts right away. They will ship out, or I guess email out in the next 24 hours, just to make sure that they all go out to everybody who signs up. So gift number 1, the Ski Boot Perfect Fit Checklist. So this is a distilled checklist of the 7 most common signs that your boots could fit better. This is designed to be a quick, easy to consume reference guide to ensure your boots feel right. So there's no fluff, no fancy pictures, only the info needed to identify and diagnose an issue. We built this because when we first started the boot fitting journey, we were looking for a resource like this and we couldn't find it. This is something we won't charge for. So just to be clear, this will be free on the site eventually. But that's because we think everybody should have access to this information for free. And the reason is so we can all ski more comfortably. But because you're here today, you'll be the first to get access to it. So it'll get emailed out to you within the next 24 hours when you claim your free gift. Now, that brings me to gift number 2. This is something we will charge money for. And it's yours today as long as you claim it. And it's a 15-minute ski boot fit assessment. So what that looks like is you'll get a dedicated one-on-one time with a boot fitter. In about 15 minutes, we'll assess your current boots and identify any areas for improvement. At the end, you'll have a clear plan to fix it. So no pressure to buy, just expert guidance. In that fit assessment, we're going to do a comfort check. So we're going to listen to your goals, where you ski, what hurts, what feels great. We're going to do 4-foot measurements, the length, width, arch, and instep. We'll do a shell fit to see if the size and shape of your current boot matches your foot. We'll do a stance and flex review, so a simple mobility test, cuff alignment, and then we'll check the flex suitability for your skiing ability and weight. And then we'll give you warmth and support tips. So we'll take a look at your socks, a look at your footbeds, and look at liner options and easy wins you can use right away. And then we'll come up with that next step plan, which generally speaking is either keep your current boots as is, make some targeted tweaks, or try a new model that has a better fit to your foot shape, budget, or style. So we ran this with a small test group last year for training and to get feedback. And people often experienced immediate comfort gains, fewer hot spots and less numbness, better edge control, more confidence, and ultimately more fun on the hill, and warmer feet, which means longer days outside with friends and family. But I also want to be upfront with this and not oversell it. This is an assessment, and at the end, you'll have a clear game plan for how to address the challenges we find. This does not include any customization work. We normally charge $49 for this service, and it has to be booked before December 15th. So you have just under 2 months to use it. But that means your boots will be ready to go and you'll have a good understanding of what you need before we get deep into the ski season. And it's yours for free, just as a thank you for being here. So thank you, I appreciate it. So there you are, the 2 free gifts for being here live today, the Ski Boot Perfect Fit Checklist and the free Ski Boot Fit Assessment. Man, that's a mouthful. You just have to go to ovap.ca /free-gift. I also see there's a QR code up in the top corner. You can scan that and just fill out the form on there. Okay, so we're on to the 5 common boot fit mistakes. So we set a structure for this so that it's easier to consume. So first, we're going to state the mistake. We're then going to explain why it happens. We'll illustrate the consequences, and we'll provide a solution. So mistake number 1, wearing the wrong size boots. So you may have experienced this before. You try on a pair of boots in the store. They feel tight, almost claustrophobic. And to ease that, many skiers size up just a little bit in either volume or length to what feels comfortable. Unfortunately, that small choice leads to big problems. Boots in the store should feel snug, and it's easy to mistake a good fit for being too small. So part of the reason this happens is when you're standing upright in your boots, your toes should be pressed up against the front of the boot. So just for context, they'll press up. As soon as you flex into the boot and you lean forward in an athletic stance, your heel will drop back into the pocket, and then you'll get that little bit of space in front of the toes. That said, there's also a good chance that your toes are differently shaped than the boot was originally designed. And so we may have to make some adjustments in there as well. The consequence is that the extra room lets your foot slide and shift, stealing away precision and causing you to work harder for control. That leads to fatigue, blisters, and often a sense that your skis have a mind of their own. So if the boot is too small, it rarely is. A lot of the time people are in too big a boot. We actually want to size the boot for the smallest part of the foot. So it should feel snug and even have some pain in some areas before you make adjustments. When the adjustments are done, you should have a uniform, consistent pressure throughout the entire foot. Like I said, this rarely happens out of the box for anyone. So if they're too tight, we can look at liner or shell heat molding or adjustments and just to relieve pressure points. Almost every set of boots that we fit will have some form of work done to them. And that's because, like we previously discussed, ski boots aren't designed to fit feet out of the box. So just a real quick note on this, please don't heat mold your boots at home in your oven. I've heard lots of people doing this before. Boots have different types of plastic by brand. Ovens are set to specific temperatures, and professionals have training and resources to make sure this happens right. Please don't ruin your $500 to $900 pair of ski boots just to save $50. Get them done at a ski shop. So on the other side, wearing boots that are too big, we can fill extra space with foam or another material. There's some brands like Head has this material called Liquid Fit on some of their liners where you can actually inject a liquid in to fill in space around the Achilles and the heel and the malleolus. And so, the better option though is often to get a smaller boot and make space in targeted areas. We can be way more accurate when making space to a boot than we can in terms of filling gaps. That leads to mistake number 2, wearing thick socks to fill space or stay warm. So this mistake I hear way too often. When boots feel loose or feet get cold, many skiers reach for a thicker sock, thinking it'll solve the problem. Or worse, they'll actually double up on their socks, but this creates a new one. Now, why this happens is it seems like an easy and logical fix. Thicker equals warmer and tighter, right? Unfortunately, that's not how it works. The consequence is that thick socks create pressure points and cut off circulation. The warmth in your feet comes from good circulation, so pressure in the wrong spots will leave your feet colder, not warmer. They also mask underlying fit issues that should be corrected by the boot and the liner, not the sock. So the fix is you want one thin, high-quality ski sock. You look for something that's moisture wicking and low volume that allows your boot liner to do its job. The boot liner is built to insulate and shape around your foot, so let it work as it's intended. During your fit or assessment, which is free for you for being here, will help you choose the right sock to complement your boots perfectly. So mistake number 3 is ignoring hot spots and skiing through the pain. So you have probably felt that one sore spot in your boot before. Maybe it's a rub on the ankle, a pinch in the instep, or pressure over the toes. It's easy to shrug it off and go, it'll break in. But remember, there's 26 bones in your foot. So there's a high likelihood that at least one of them isn't in the exact typical spot that the designer had the boot made for. So skiers often ignore this because they assume discomfort's just part of the sport. But your boots don't have to hurt. Boots are customizable, and pain is a sign that something just isn't sitting right. The consequence of this is that ignoring hot spots can lead to blisters, bruising, and even long-term issues. Some of those are nerve irritation, circulation issues, or the creation or amplification of bone spurs. So if you're not familiar with what a bone spur is, if any of you have one on your foot, it'll be really obvious. You'll have this kind of jut out of bone in the foot somewhere, and often that'll create rubbing inside the boot. If your boot is rubbing and has pressure in the wrong spot on your boot, that rubbing on the bone can actually damage the boot itself, or damage the bone. And our bodies are really cool. They try to heal themselves, but the way that the body heals that is it just creates more bone in that spot, creating a spot that actually juts out a bit and makes the problem worse. So the fix is that a professional boot fitter can help you pinpoint pressure areas and fix them through liner shaping, boot punching, and shell modifications. When it comes to your feet, millimeters feel like miles. These small adjustments transform your comfort and performance on the hill. So if you're dealing with a recurring hotspot, bring your boots into your boot fitter. If you don't have one of those yet, we'd love to be that for you. And we'll reshape them to ensure they fit your feet perfectly. So mistake number 4, and arguably this could be mistake number 1 because it's maybe the easiest one to fix and one of the most important, and that is skipping footbeds. So the mistake is just using the stock footbed that comes in your ski boot. Most stock footbeds only have slightly more support, are slightly more supportive than standing on a piece of cardboard. So I actually have a stock footbed that's out of my ski boot here. And just for context, so this should be the most supportive part of the entire footbed, and I can just bend it in half. There's nothing to it, and it's basically like a little piece of cardboard. And this one, actually for a stock footbed, this one isn't that bad. It's got a little bit of shape, but for context, I'll show you my trim to fit footbed, which is what I replaced them with and put inside my boots. I can hardly even bend that. There's lots of support, lots of shape in under the boot or under the foot. And so it really makes a difference. Why this happens is partially just a lack of education. Most skiers assume that stock insoles inside their boots are good enough. The truth is most running shoes have better insoles than this thing here. And when you're in your running shoes, it's really just supporting your body weight with a little bit of pressure. So think about how much force is being driven through your legs and feet when you're skiing. It's a lot. So you need proper support. The consequence is that without proper footbeds, your feet move inconsistently inside the liner. You also have a less solid base and foundation for your entire body to be working off of. This can create pressure points, circulation decreases, and it can create alignment issues in your ankles, knees, and hips. Over time, this can actually change your skiing posture. So I'll just call attention over to, I'll make this a little bit bigger for you, over to this image over here, right there. So you can see the difference from standing on a flat ground to standing on a footbed. The arch is a lot more supported. The most obvious one to me here is if you look at the line of the ankle here, it doesn't look like it's ready to support any weight. You put the footbed under that supports it properly, and you have a straight line through that Achilles and that ankle to be able to support a lot of weight and pressure as you're skiing. I'm going to flip back to, there we go. So the fix for this is getting an aftermarket footbed. That should be obvious already. They're the foundation that keeps your foot in a ready position and aligns your foot with the boot shell and improves comfort and edge control. Now, another quick note on these, they do have to be a little bit customized to each boot and foot. So don't just grab a set of these off the wall, throw them in your ski boots and hope that they'll work really well. It generally doesn't work like that, but at OVAP, whenever you buy a footbed, that customization work is always included with the purchase of it, as long as you got your ski boot there and we can actually fit it and work with you properly. So that brings us to mistake number 5, which is buying based on brand. So people often fall in love with a certain ski brand, a color that looks amazing, or maybe a pro athlete who rides for that company. It's easy to assume also that if you love the skis, the boots must be great too. The problem is boot brands fit very differently, and what works for one skier might not work for you. Why this happens is because marketing and sponsorships are very powerful. When you see your favorite skier crushing it on a certain brand, it's natural to want the same gear. And for those of you who are a little bit older and are past the age of like seeing your favorite skier crush it, the friends and other skiers, especially the reviews of products, really have the same effect. The consequence is that you're choosing a boot for the logo and look instead of the fit. And that can be a very expensive decision. We can almost always make a certain brand fit your foot, but it's likely going to require more modifications and multiple refits. You're right, Joshua. The boot fitter chooses the boot. We can work with you a little bit, and if you have a very specific brand that you want, totally, we can make it happen. But the fix of this is starting with a better fitting boot and make as few modifications as possible. Every modification we have to make, although boots are designed to modify, we want to do as little as possible so that we maintain the integrity of the boot. This is why every boot fitting should start with your feet, not with the boot. So a professional fitter can assess your foot shape, stance, and skiing style and match it with a boot that fits like it was made for you, regardless of the name on the cuff. At OVAP, we've built our boot selection based on varying foot shapes, so we always have a strong starting point before we have to make any modifications. This way, we know you'll leave with boots that will work for you, not just ones that look good on a shelf. So at this point, you understand why most people struggle with sore feet on the hill. And we went through the 5 common boot fit mistakes: the wrong size, socks that are too thick, ignoring hot spots, skipping footbeds, and buying based on brand. So do you think there's at least one thing that you can take away and implement today to make your ski season a little bit better? So what I'd like to do is just check in with everybody. I know I've rambled on for a little bit. I appreciate you all being here. So I just want to check in. Ballpark, how many times a year are each of you skiing? Is it like 1 to 3, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 20 plus? Do we have anybody out there who's getting like 80 days a year on snow? Awesome. I've seen some comments come in about, oh, nice. Tyler's 30 plus. Nicholas is 30 to 40. Okay, we've got some skiers who are out there a lot. Awesome. You guys all must be super excited for the ski season. I know I am. So while you're out there skiing those days, my hope for you is that you aren't part of this statistic. And that is that 70% of skiers claim that they are dealing with pain in their ski boots. It doesn't have to be that way. And it's not because they don't want comfortable boots or they haven't tried to fix it, but they're often misdiagnosing the root cause of the problem. And if they had the help of an expert who does this all the time, who could pick the right boots as a starting point and knows what adjustments to make, they'd have a better time on the hill and be more comfortable without the trial and error of doing it themselves. And that's exactly why we do what we do during a boot fitting appointment. And to celebrate the launch, because I'm super excited to finally get this out into the world, we are making a limited time offer today. It's the Perfect Fit Bundle. Now, this is designed to help you get the most out of your ski season without painful feet and the trial and error of trying to fix your ski boots yourself. So if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to just go through and show you what's included in the Perfect Fit Bundle and how you can take advantage of it today. Now, before I get into that, if you have not applied to win for the grand prize giveaway, now is your last chance. If you somehow stumbled across this on YouTube and got to the live event and you didn't actually register and didn't fill out the form, please go to ovap.ca/bootfit so you can get in there, fill out the application. We are going to draw the winner live on this stream. All right, so what's included in the Perfect Fit bundle? The first thing, surprise, is a full custom boot fit with boot selection and customization. What that actually looks like at OVAP is we start with a foot assessment. We take a look at your foot shape, we take 4 measurements, we do a mobility assessment, and then we identify potential problem areas. And trust me, almost everyone has some potential problem areas. We then do a foundation evaluation. We take a look at the sock and the footbed. We help you select a footbed if you don't have one already, and then we make adjustments and customizations to it once we've selected the boot. The next step is boot selection. We do a shell fit, a liner fit, and cuff alignment, and then we do a flex suitability test to see. I just got a note from one of my team members that it sounds like there's a little bit of a heartbeat going on. It's because my daughter's upstairs running around. So I apologize for if there's a little bit of feedback. Okay, so yeah, we go through the boot selection we talked about, then we go into customization. So we do heat molding, liner deformations or additions, and then shell deformations if required. And then we do any fine tuning and grinding. With every single one of our custom boot fittings, you also get a pre-fit checklist. So that'll should tell you where to show up, what to bring, how to prepare, any questions or information that we need ahead of time, where to park, all that fun stuff. You'll get a free binding check and basic adjustment. You'll also get a wearing and carrying guide that'll tell you how to get the most out of your brand new ski boots, and then a wear and fit coaching series. You'll also get a lifetime, get the information recorded digitally forever at our shop. Awesome. So this is normally about 3 hours of work for our team, and our shop rate is about $120 an hour. So it would be totally reasonable for us to charge $360 an hour, or $360 for this service. So that's the first thing that's included in the Perfect Fit bundle, the full custom boot fit with boot selection and customization. Thing number 2 is we're going to include up to 5 additional refits in the first year. The truth is, boot fitting is a relationship. We'll try to have you leave with the boot that's perfect for your feet on day 1. But the reality is the boot's going to feel different on a cold hill under force than it will in a warm shop when you're just standing in it. So that is 5 times that you can come in and say, hey, I've got a problem here. I've got a hot spot. This is rubbing a little bit. And we are going to help you with the problem identification and troubleshooting. And then we will do the custom work to fix the problem. This ensures that you'll have a perfect fit, even if your boots break in. The team's available to help you with any pain or discomfort that you experience throughout the season. So each one of these additional refits, we book an hour for to make sure that you get the dedicated time and attention that you need. So 5 of those at our regular shop rate would be $600. So the third thing that's included in the Perfect Fit bundle is a trim to fit footbed. So this guy here is a CDAS trim to fit footbed. We will do a proper assessment and selection of that footbed. We will include the cost of the footbed in this, and then any customization that is required to fit your foot and your boot. The truth is, everybody should be skiing on an aftermarket footbed. Okay, there's maybe like 3% of people who can ski without a footbed and be comfortable and the boot fits properly, but it's a very, very small percentage. So the footbed itself costs about $65, and it takes about 15 minutes for us to do the assessment and the customization. So that's about a $95 value. So you get the full custom boot fit, the 5 additional refits, and a trim to fit footbed, and a Descent IQ Comfort ski sock. So as a shop owner, I'm given ski socks regularly. So last year alone, I tried about 8 different pairs of ski socks. And these are the best socks on the market. I also speak with other shop owners, sales reps, boot fitters, and pros on a regular basis, and pretty well every one of them swears by them, even the ones selling the other socks. Little bonus there, they're a Canadian company, which is great, based out of BC. So those are normally $40 off the shelf. So that's going to be included in the Perfect Fit bundle with that custom boot fit, the 5 additional refits, the CDAS trim to fit footbed, and the socks. Now, all of that there is basically the full setup to get your ski boot fitting perfectly and ready to go, so you're completely ready for the hill when the snow flies. But we also want to make sure your skis are just as ready. So we're also going to have a same-day ski sharpen infrared wax. Now, although OVAP is the new kid on the block in the Ottawa area ski scene, members of our ski tech team have been around the industry for over 20 years with a file in their hands. From running back shops at a couple of local ski hills to servicing skis for Junior Team Canada, I can confidently say that our team is one of the most experienced in the area. We hand sharpen every single ski, and we are introducing this year our infrared wax, which is going to allow the wax to penetrate deeper into the ski and last longer, making sure that your skis are ready, just as ready as your boots are for the hill. With the same day rush service, that is $110 value. So to recap here, we've got the full custom boot fit, the 5 additional refits, the CDAS trim to fit footbed, the Descent IQ Comfort sock, and a same day ski sharpen and infrared wax. That's a total value of $1,205. Now, if we were to sell this package for $1,200, that would be totally reasonable. In fact, that would be the amount that you'd pay for all of these things if you bought them individually. But we're not going to do that. At $499, this deal should be a steal. You'd be getting everything you need to get ready for the hill this year at almost half or a little bit less than half of the value of the entire package. But we're not going to do that either. At $299, you'd almost be crazy not to take it. You'd be getting the whole package, $1,200 worth of value, at just under 25% of the total value. But we're not going to do that either. For the next 24 hours only, we are going to have this Perfect Fit bundle available to you for only $199. So that's right, for less than the cost of dinner out for two, you get everything you need to maximize your on-hill comfort and performance with your new ski boots this winter. And I am confident that this will be the best $199 you spend on your ski season, easily. Now, before you jump in, I need to be completely transparent about a few things. We're only opening up 25 spots for this offer. Not because of fake scarcity or anything like that, but because we're delivering hands-on support. And we simply can't take more people at once and still maintain the quality and turnaround times that we promise. Once those 25 spots are filled, that's it. They're gone. And this offer is only available for 24 hours, if they last that long. After that, this offer will never be available again. We're not going to do it. We're giving away a lot of value for free. And in fact, after fulfilling this, we'll be lucky if we break even. But we're doing this for two reasons. So the first reason is we realize that we're the new kid on the block in the ski industry, and we want to become your go-to ski shop. We also want testimonials from you. We have almost 200 5-star reviews on Google showing that we deliver great products and experiences. And in fact, I took that screenshot a couple days ago. We crossed over 200 today. Reviews like this one, where it was a great experience for us. We definitely will go back for our next outdoor sports decision. Or this one. After an hour paddle and a chance to ask all my questions to knowledgeable staff, I feel I was able to make an informed choice. Michael, the service and knowledge provided was outstanding. I would recommend OVAP to anyone. Or Natasha, great customer service, very organized shop. Would highly recommend this shop for your outdoor adventuring needs. Or Donald, Hats off and much thanks to the OVAP team for the great service and support. Or Justin, awesome experience with the kayak demos. Great service and really fun experience in the water. Or Jeff, who said it's the best customer service he's ever had. Or Adam, the team went above and beyond. Mark was a gem and helped us get every single piece of equipment we needed. Strongly recommend OVAP for anything you need for paddling. Or Hanako, I'm a complete beginner and they were so patient and friendly with me, they went above and beyond. Or Emily, wonderful client service, didn't regret buying from them instead of a big box store or the brand directly. Or this one, who said, the wonderful people at OVAP really know their stuff. They were so patient in helping us try out different options. We got great info and advice, ended up getting the right boats for us. Or Priyanka, such a great experience with the OVAP team. It was my first time on a kayak and they couldn't have been nicer. Or Leah, it was amazing each step of the way and very flexible. We fit the stop in on a road trip and it was worth the drive to Arnprior. There's no other store like this in Ontario. But the truth is, we want a bunch more that are specific to this boot fitting program. So to sweeten the deal a little bit, I want to do something special for those of you who take action right now. If you purchase before we wrap up today, we're going to include a fast action bonus. 1 additional ski sharpening and infrared wax, which is perfect if you have another set of skis or a friend or family member who needs their gear tuned up too. So that's an additional $110 value completely free just for acting before the end of this live session. So to recap, we have the full custom boot fit with boot selection and customization at a $360 value, up to 5 additional refits in the first year at a $600 value. A CDAS trim to fit footbed with the customization work at a $95 value, Descent IQ Comfort ski socks at a $40 value, and the same day ski sharpen and wax, and infrared wax at a $110 value. And if you act now before this live stream's over, you'll get the additional $110 value with the same day ski sharpen and infrared wax. That's a total value of over $1,300. Today only for 24 hours for $199. And there's only 25 available. So now is your chance to take advantage of this offer. You can go to ovap.ca/launch. That'll take you right into the checkout with the bundle already in your cart. If you have any issues checking out, please call the number on the screen. I'll make that a little bit bigger for you. And it's covered by our banner. All right, so the number on the screen is 613-900-4311. Alicia, maybe you can update the banner to include the phone number at the bottom as we're building this out. But it'll also be on the screen here. I'm actually going to, no, let's see. There we go. That's a little bit better. I'm just the small guy in the corner now. So you guys have been amazing so far. If you want to take advantage of this offer, you can scan the QR code in the bottom right corner, go to the website, call the number on the screen. But it is time for us to announce the grand prize winner, which is likely what a bunch of you have been waiting for. So, we don't have the winner yet. I'm just going to wait for a second here while the team actually draws it, because we are drawing it live and sends it to me. Also, once we finish up getting the grand prize winner announced, I have a couple other small things, and then I'm going to answer some questions if you guys have them. So feel free to drop those into the chat. And so I now have the winner. Okay, drum roll, please. It is Cindy Burwell. Congratulations. You are the winner of the grand prize package with the custom boot fit, plus the set of boots and all the fun bonuses that come with it. So congratulations, Cindy. We can't wait to have you come in, get fitted and ready with your new ski boots. The team will reach out to you within the next 24 hours with an email to let you know how to book it and get your time set and all that fun stuff. So for the rest of you, if you didn't win, you still have this opportunity to take advantage of the Perfect Fit bundle. That smoking deal of over $1,300 in value for only $199. So while some of you are checking out right now, I want to speak directly to those of you who might be sitting on the fence. Maybe you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't need a custom fitting. My boots feel fine. And hey, if your boots feel okay, that's great. That's actually awesome. But comfortable boots doesn't always mean optimized. What most skiers don't realize is that a proper fit doesn't just remove pain. It transforms your control, balance, and energy on the hill. Even a small improvement in alignment can make your turn smoother and reduce fatigue after just a few runs. Or maybe you're thinking, can I just buy boots online or at a big box store for less? And yeah, you definitely can. Those guys do put boots on sale, especially at the end of the season. But ski boots aren't like a jacket or a pair of gloves. They're engineered down to the millimeter, and every boot brand builds their shells around different foot shapes. Starting with the right boot for your foot will reduce the number of adjustments needed, and in the long run, it'll save you money. Buying ski boots online is kind of like buying prescription glasses without checking your eyesight first. They might look good, but they likely won't perform right. So this offer saves you from that mistake, and you start right from day one. Or maybe you're thinking, I'm just a beginner. I won't really feel a difference anyway. And honestly, this might be the most important group we can help. When you're new to skiing, comfort builds confidence. And if your feet are cold, cramped, or sliding around, you'll spend your day thinking about pain instead of learning. A proper fit helps you stay comfortable, balanced, and in control, so you can focus on actually enjoying the sport and progressing faster. So if any of those thoughts have been running through your mind, I want you to know that's exactly why we created this offer, to remove every barrier between you and a better day on the hill. So you're getting a total of over $1,300 worth of expert services and products for just $199. This is your moment to take action. So again, we've got the Perfect Fit bundle. I'm going to keep it up here on the screen. And just a quick reminder that you have until the live stream ends to check out and complete your purchase and get the additional ski sharpening infrared wax. So we're going to take a look and see if there are any questions. Okay, cool. We've already, awesome. We've already got some people checking out. Can't wait to have you in there. I just got a note from the team. Of the 25, we've got 18 left. So if you're sitting on the fence, they are going fast. Feel free to hop in there, scan the QR code, go to the web page, and take a look. So we've got a couple of questions. Tyler Sweeney, what is the average cost of a custom fitting? Does it depend on the amount of work being done? So Tyler, no, we in our boot fitting packages, we sell at a flat rate. We include all of the work needed for your boots, especially in this Perfect Fit bundle. You're going to get the boot selection. We will do all of the customization work. We'll also have the 5 additional refits in the first year, so you can come in and make sure that those boots are feeling amazing and perfect on your feet all throughout the season. We've got a question from Sheena Bradley. When should you trade in your old boots into a new pair? So that's a good question. It's going to depend on a couple of things. Your liners will pack out over time. Generally speaking, it's going to depend on how often you're using your boots, or I guess how long your ski days are and how much pressure you're putting into your boots. Somebody who skis lots and spends a lot of time on their boots. So for example, one of the guys who was in like 30 to 40 days on the hill, you're probably replacing at least your liners every couple of years. You're going to pack those out. They're made of what's called an open cell foam. And so as you put pressure on them and they heat up, those cells collapse and start to make extra space. If you have a really good fitting ski boot, you should be able to use it for multiple years. And often the shell won't really get adjusted, or I guess get old, unless the plastic starts to get brittle or the flex starts to not be as strong throughout the boot. So I hope that answers your question. There's no real good, like, you should have it for 3 years answer. It's more so depends on how often you're skiing. If you wanted to have a deeper conversation about that and find out, hey, you know what, I ski X number of times a year. I normally, when I go, I spend 2 to 3 hours on the hill and 4 in the bar, or the other way around. That'll help us kind of narrow in on whether your ski boots need to be switched or how long we should expect for them to last. Next up, Jennifer Lewis. What about skiing barefoot? I just started wearing socks a few years ago in my ski boots, and honestly, I hate it. My feet seem colder. Okay, interesting. So like we talked about, the foot warmth actually comes from good circulation in your foot. So there's a chance that just the addition of a sock has created a little bit of pressure on the top of your foot. So similar to your hand, a lot of the main veins and arteries run across the top of your foot. And so when you press down on that in any way, it can reduce the circulation, and the warm blood flowing to your toes is how you're keeping those toes warm. The skiing barefoot thing, I've heard a little bit about it in the past. It's not something that I do or I necessarily recommend. It was a popular thing in the past. Specifically, I guess the theory was that you could feel the snow better. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but that in the industry, that's kind of moved away for the most part. So, but at the same time, I would say, do what feels comfortable to you. I like skiing with a sock. Maybe if you moved up in volume, or you had a boot with a slightly different ramp angle that gave that space on the top of your foot, that might make the difference. But yeah, happy to have that conversation more in depth. But very good question. So we have question number 4. Sand Cottage Bound. Do you do imaging of the foot and the foot in the boot like you showed? I do not. So it's interesting. I actually did that on my own just to illustrate for this presentation how my foot didn't really fit into the boot that I'm going to wear this year out of the box. The imaging of the foot, there used to be a couple of companies like CDAS who made like 3D foot imagers. They ended up costing like 6 to 12 grand to have in your shop. And very rarely did they actually give you any additional information that a boot fitter couldn't just see with their eyes. So it was really just unintentionally inflating the cost of boot fitting and making it less accessible to a lot of people. So no, we don't do any foot imaging down the road. Do I think that there's a world where all boot fitting is potentially 3D foot scanning and then an AI deciding which boot you should get in? Maybe. But hopefully that's a long ways down the road. That way I'll keep my job. Okay, so number 6. Tyler Sweeney, how much are your boots? What is the price point? Great question. So the boots in our shop are anywhere from like $450 to $500 for a very entry-level boot, low flex, not very feature rich, all the way up to, I think our top boot is $900. So a lot of it is going to depend on foot shape is going to determine brand and a little bit of the feature set. Next up is going to be your skiing ability and your weight, which is going to determine your flex. Just a quick note on that, please don't get like narrowed in on a certain flex. If you have a 110 flex boot, don't necessarily expect that like you have to be in 110 flex boot for the next one. Flex numbers are not consistent even within a single line of boots, let alone from brand to brand, and it is not a scientific calculation. So it's really it has a little bit to do with flex, but less than you think. The reason I'm talking about flex is because you want your boots to kind of act like shocks on a bike whenever you're skiing. They're going to do a little bit of the work whenever your skis are hitting off that snow and bouncing. So as you go up in flex, and generally speaking, as you become a better skier, you want a better and more feature-rich ski boot that's able to kind of progress with you. So that gives you a ballpark on what the boots themselves will cost, between like $450 and $900. Awesome. Okay, so I've just got another update since the last little update on available. We had 18 left before I started the questions. We're now down to 13. So if you're on the fence, you should probably just go ahead and take action, get that price locked in at the $199 with the fast action bonus. So another quick question from Sand Cottage Bound. Looking at your site, what women's boots do you have with wide calves? Okay, so great question. Some of the boots, generally speaking, a woman's boot is going to have a slightly lower cuff, allowing, because anatomically, a woman's calf generally starts a little bit lower than a man's. Also, in earlier featured boots, so we were talking about flex and lower price point boots, a lot of brands will start to have cuff adjustments to widen that calf area, allowing for that bigger calf. So I know the ladies' head boots that we have, I think, actually I might have a boot here to show you. Not this one. This one does. Okay, so you'll see here these little spots on this boot. If I take an Allen key in there and I turn it, it'll actually create a gap between the white and black right here and widen the calf out. Now, I believe that's only like 5 millimeters per side, so you get an extra centimeter all the way around the boot. So that'll do a little bit, but it's not going to do what is needed for everybody. So we can also look at doing buckle extenders are sometimes a good option. So just allowing for, I wonder if I can show here on this same boot. So you'll see, oops, there we go. I can actually move that over or tighten it up depending on how big the calf is that we're working with. These also have micro adjustments. So as I turn the actual, there we go. As I turn this, it gets bigger or smaller, allowing for more space. And then we can actually also add on another one of these to make it, like that much longer and really account for some extra space in the calf. So there's lots we can do. It's actually pretty common around here to run into big calves that need a little bit extra space. And so, yeah, we're well equipped to be able to help out with that. I've got one more question here. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking of taking action, we're getting down to the end. If you're the type of person who waits till the last moment, this is the last moment to get that fast action bonus. So Joshua asks, can you bring your own boots even if I already have custom footbeds? Yeah, totally. Yeah, actually, especially for the assessment, that you guys got for free for being here today. Please bring your boots in. That's going to be part of the assessment. All that information will come through in the email whenever we send it to you. But bring your boots with you. We'll do the full assessment. Joshua, if you have your custom footbeds inside your boot, please, that's amazing. One of the things and why it's important to have those footbeds in your boot when we're testing them and when we're trying on new boots and selecting the boot is that your foot has a little bit of an arch, and whenever you stand on it and weight it, it's going to splay a bit. And when you do that, your foot actually gets a bit longer. So people often get that like pressing up on the front of their toes and thinking, oh, these boots don't fit right. And so once you throw that footbed in the boot, your toes will actually stay a little bit off the front and the boot will fit better. You get a smaller fit around the foot and a better hold all around. So yeah, Joshua, bring your own boots, bring your custom footbeds. We'll make sure that you get all sorted out. So yeah, I believe I'm just going to wait one more minute here. Any other questions that are coming through? It doesn't look like it. I'm getting some feedback saying that that is all the questions. Okay, so there's still 25 of you here. Thank you all for coming and spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. It is 8:02 p.m. So because I am feeling a little bit generous today, I'm going to extend the fast action bonus for 10 more minutes. So all of the transactions are time stamped. It is 8:02 right now. We'll give you to 8:03. I'll assume that this we come off the stream. So if the order comes through before 8:15, or sorry, 8:13, so 8:13 will be the time, then you will also get that fast action bonus. So if for some reason you run into an issue and you can't get the checkout to work for you, you can reach out to us. We'll honor as long as it comes through before 8:13. And so that is it for me. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you all being here tonight with me to launch this boot fitting offer. We're very excited to service the Valley and the Ottawa area and get you guys all into more comfortable boots that work great for you. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.